Also, a very good morning to one and all present here. I, Mrs. Poonam Kadapure, on behalf of RPD College of Arts and Commerce, Department of BBA, take pleasure to begin this webinar on career opportunities during and after COVID, organized by RPD College of Arts and Commerce, Department of BBA in association with IQAC. This webinar is going to be helpful to the students in their career. We have more than 500 students participating from different colleges of Belgavi, Nippani, Bijapur, Kolhapur, Hubli in this webinar. Proceeding further, I now request Dr. Mrs. Achala Desai, Principal of RPD College of Arts and Commerce, to formally welcome the gathering.
Namaste and a very good morning to all the participants logged in to this webinar. I'm very happy that the Department of BBA, under the leadership of Sri Shimangowda sir, has arranged this wonderful seminar which is so topical and required for the times that we are going through. Dr. Purnima M. Charantimat, former professor of IMER Belgavi, and presently mentor from Atal Incubation Center, Bengaluru, who has kindly consented to be with us, is a most welcome guest on our campus always. Even earlier, she has shared her expertise and her vast knowledge with all our students. Madam, may I take this opportunity to welcome you on behalf of the college and the department in particular. Thank you very much for being with us. I also welcome all the participants, the teacher delegates, invitees, and guests who are there to listen to this very important topic, which is a guidance that students today require. We're going through difficult times, but difficult times give us challenges, and people must meet the challenges if we have to go on. The corona pandemic is one important challenge, especially when career opportunities are in question. And therefore, this is a topic that is of most important use for students. I congratulate the department once again and thank the guest who has come here to share her expertise and her knowledge with us. And with these words of welcome, I hand over the mic for the further proceedings. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam. May I now request Sri S.S. Shimangaudar, Director of BBA Department, RPD College of Arts and Commerce, to introduce our today's guest speaker, Dr. Mrs. Purnima Charantimat.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of RPD College of Arts and Commerce, BBA Department, I welcome you all to this webinar on career opportunities during and after COVID-19. Today, we have with us Dr. Purnima Charantimat as the resource person for this session. Dr. Purnima Charantimat is a mentor at Atal Incubation Center, Bangalore. She has served as professor and head of research center and Center for Entrepreneurship Development at Karnataka Law Society's Institute of Management Education and Research, Belagavi, for more than 25 years. She has a bachelor's degree in civil engineering with postgraduate degree in management studies from Karnataka University, Dharwad. She is a facilitator for visioning and strategic planning for various enterprises, including Tata Motors, Aditya Birla Group, and HLL Life Care. She is the author of number of books on entrepreneurship development and total quality management. She is also the recipient of a number of national and international awards that includes Association of Overseas Scholarship by Government of Japan and Distinguished Engineers Award by Institute of Engineers India by State Center. With these words of introduction, I once again welcome Dr. Purnima Charantimat for this webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, the most awaited session, that is the webinar on career opportunities during and after COVID. We all have gathered here. I request Dr. Mrs. Purnima Charantimat to take the charge.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. At the outset, first I thank the principal of RPD College, Madam Achal Desai. She's a very good friend of mine also. She's also a good friend of mine. I have been associated with RPD College for a number of years in various capacity. Then I have come to RPD College to deliver guest lectures and some seminars as a resource person. And I thank the department of BBA and the director of department and Poonam madam, who has taken initiative to arrange this webinar for the benefit of students on career opportunities for graduates during and after COVID-19. This is a very hot topic. This is a very important topic, let me tell you. Because now everyone, the entire globe is facing this pandemic. And everybody is thinking what should be our next step during this COVID-19. This is a big challenge, but in management, we always tell challenges should be taken as an opportunity. Today, I am going to talk in another 60 minutes. I am going to talk to you. You have challenges, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. There is a silver lining in the cloud. These challenges should be taken as an opportunities for graduates during and after COVID-19. This is what I am going to talk to you today. And to begin with, you can see my slides. I think the students can see my slides. Shall I maximize the slides or slides are seen properly, Poonam madam?
Ma'am, you will have to share your screen.
Yes.
So we cannot yet.
Can you see? Can you see?
No, ma'am.
I have shared, no? I have shared my screen. Share screen I have used.
Just, yes, now we can see.
You can see, yes. Now today I will start my topic and presentation on career opportunities for graduates during and after COVID-19. I have been already introduced to the participants. I'm happy number of students are participating in the webinar. And let me assure you, at the end of my presentation, you will have a lot of takeaways for yourself. That's why this is a very important session. I will directly go to my presentation. Here, I'm going to talk about everybody is now thinking of their career, company, jobs, growth, resume, work searching, people, data, plans, teamwork. All these things people are talking every day. People are concerned about their careers, especially graduates who are completing their graduation in this year. They are all concerned about their careers, what they should do next, how to turn the page, go to the next step. So to begin with, I will be talking about what is the status of higher education in India.
Ma'am, just before you start, I just request you to go full screen with your presentation.
Okay. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am. Perfect. Thank you.
According to All India Survey on Higher Education 2018-19, around 23 million students are enrolled in undergraduate level programs across universities and colleges. Here, undergraduate level programs means I'm talking about BSc graduates, BBA graduates, BCom graduates, BA graduates, graduates from various streams I'm talking. I'm not only talking about particular stream or particular domain, even engineering graduates also. A section of the students pursuing their last year of the program, they will be graduating sometimes in August 2020 as per this university UGC guidelines for Central University. While states are still determining their own exam schedules, you all know that exam schedules are also changing. That is also a concern. From state to state, there is a change in exam schedule. That's why it is major concern to students about all these things. Really, there is a factor. Fear factor is also there. There is a fear factor, as I told you. The students now fear that the job market will dry up as companies pause hiring to recoup the losses that piled up as the economy ground to a halt in an attempt to check this COVID-19 spread. Definitely, I will not say there is no fear factor. There is a fear factor. When you come out of these graduate portals of your institute as a graduate, you are concerned, you are fear, there is a fear. Today, I will be talking mainly on how to mitigate, how to lessen this fear factor. I am not talking about how to eradicate fear factor, 100%. I am mainly talking on how to reduce the fear factor, how to deal with the change management. See, in management, we also talk about change management. Before I go to the next slide, I'll be telling, I have recently attended a seminar by Gururaj Deshpande. You may be knowing Gururaj Deshpande. This Deshpande Foundation, Hubli, is founded by other than Gururaj Deshpande. In a webinar, he was telling, India has a lot of problems, but in entrepreneurial language, we tell problems should be seen as an opportunities. Definitely there are problems. This means there is a fear in the job market. But how to convert these challenges which are in front of us into opportunity? This is what I'm going to talk about today, how to convert these challenges into opportunities. Now we will come to the job market. How is this job market? The job market was in extremely poor shape, not after COVID. Before COVID-19 crisis entered, already the job market was in extremely poor shape. Everybody was talking about, see, the job market is not opening up. There are very less jobs. This was the same before COVID-19 crisis. Now COVID-19 has entered. Now the job market is still in a very bad shape. That we all have to agree. That is the fact. That is the data says the job market is not doing well. But there are different jobs created today because of COVID-19 crisis. The traditional jobs are going. The different new jobs which are in the digital technology, online technology, they are coming up. That I am going to talk to you today. I know the market is poor shape. COVID-19 has worsened the market, but COVID-19 crisis also has given opportunities for new jobs. But definitely we have to recover. There is a time we are slow, we have to recover. I think the recovery will start by the end of December 2020, according to the research conducted by All India Research Institute of India. It says that there is going to be recovery, but not sudden. The recovery may be slow, steady, but definitely there is hope. The recovery may start by the end of December 2020. It may start. We may slowly gear up by 2021. If the vaccine comes early, we will gear up faster. If the herd immunity is created due to COVID-19, we are also talking about herd immunity. If it also takes, then if the people becomes more immune, the recovery will be very fast. Anyway, we will have to see how the recovery will be. Whether the recovery will be V-shaped. V-shape means faster recovery. U-shape means moderate recovery, or bottom curve recovery. That is long time recovery, because bottom being the particular sector spends long time at the bottom. We will be fortunate if we will have V-shaped recovery, moderately fortunate U-shaped recovery, less fortunate bathtub recovery, type of a recovery. Let us wait and watch. Nobody can, because the things are uncertain. Everybody agree things are uncertain. There will be recovery, either V-shaped, U-shaped, or bottom curve. Now, your graduates coming out of the portals or pursuing graduation. Now, what you have to do today? Have a well-crafted resume. First thing you have to do is prepare a well-crafted resume. Resume is like advertising yourself, branding yourself. Preparing a well-crafted resume is very important. And you should have some realistic job expectations. Don't go for unrealistic job search expectations. Your job search expectations should be realistic. That is very, very important. Don't simply dream about fantasy. Fantasy will not happen. Embrace the change. Embrace the fact. Turn the page as fast as possible. So you should have clear job search expectations, which I'm going to talk later. Enhance your professionalism is very, very important. You are a graduate, but how you will differentiate from other graduates in the job market by enhancing your professionalism is very, very important. This is the need for the hour. I'm going to talk to you today how to enhance your professionalism. That is going to become your cutting edge. That is going to become your change agent. That is going to make your mark in the job market. Also, you have to identify job opportunity. Don't say there are no jobs. The jobs are different. The job profiles are different. Today, the job market is also changing. Traditional jobs are vanishing. New types of jobs are creating because of COVID-19. See, now earlier we never thought about online teaching, online learning, e-learning, online webinars. We were not. We have changed now. Like that thing in the job market also. Job profiles, job descriptions are going to change. That you have to accept. If you don't accept, then there is a problem. First thing is you have to accept there is going to be change. And you have to adopt to the change as soon as possible. The mantra is managing change is very, very important. How you are going to proactive, reactive. First one you may be reactive. Later on you have to be proactive. These are the things which will enhance your professionalism. There are challenges for fresh graduates. Definitely, I'm going to tell about this. Don't think there will not be any challenges. Definitely, this batch, which is coming out of the portals of your institution, will have a lot of challenges. I'm going to talk to you in another 10 minutes or 10 or 15 minutes about the challenges the fresh graduates will be facing. If you are graduating from your institution in this year 2020, your batch will have a tougher time finding their first job, unlike your immediate seniors. That you have to agree. There was a market crash, what we call it as recession we use the word recession. In the year 2000, there was a market crash. Even in the year 2008, 2009, there was a market crash. That's why there was an unemployment levels during that time also. Those people who were looking for jobs in 2000 and 2008, 1908 and 2009, there was a market crash. Due to that, there was an unemployment because of recession. But you also will face unemployment levels after graduation, which will be higher up to 30%. Definitely more than that you will face. I think I was reading an article written by Narayan Murthy. Narayan Murthy, according to Narayan Murthy's perception, the recession, the unemployment which we are facing today is very high, very tough after 1947, after the independence of this country. This is definitely very tough. So we have no choice. We have to gear up. Your chances improve when you start earlier and knock more doors. Now you have to start. You have to improve. You have to professionalize and start early and knock the job market, knock your career. Second choice, first one was unemployment challenge. Second challenge you will be facing is job first, choice later. Definitely I will tell you, you will not have many choices today. Choices are very less today. You will be that's why you have to start as fast as possible. Either going for, if you want to go for higher education, you can go, or if you want to tap the job market also, you have to move faster. Speed is very important. You can't become complacent. You can't become slow during this race. Salaries definitely will be lower. Nobody will pay higher. Now we are also listening salary cuts for people already working. They are also facing salary cuts. That's why we feel this, we are finding, you may not find jobs in your preferred domain. Definitely, please agree. You might have thought that I want to enter this domain. You may not be able to enter those domains of your preference. You can't choose your jobs because there are less jobs in the job market. That's why your priority should be job first, choice later. Prioritize getting any job to gain a work experience. And shift domains once the market improves. Definitely market is going to improve. There is no doubt market. At least to 2021, slowly we will get up. But this spirit is very important. How you face this spirit, how you adopt yourself to this change is very, very important. You can also work through unpaid internship. See, for example, I will tell you a very important thing. All of you I know will not go for higher education. You want to work. So you can work for some internships, unpaid internship. You can ask people to give you internship. It will be like a training, apprenticeship or unpaid internship it is called as. Or nominal pay, something like a pocket money. You can think of working through unpaid internship or small stipend, or if you have a family business, your own business, you can start working and learning in your family business, whatever is possible. See, something is better than nothing. Let us all assume. So you can always work through unpaid internships or in your family business to gain work experience. Next challenge you may be facing is, today robots may replace humans. I know robot is very expensive. I know, remember. I've seen in many houses, they are buying robots to because now they don't want to have a physical contact. Some hotels are also buying robots to serve food. So robots may replace humans. That is another challenge. Robots will serve food and medicines to patients in isolation wards. So these manual jobs will go there. Robots will start to come into active use for many contactless functions. This has already started in Singapore and other developed nations. And slowly in the developing nations like metros, they have already started in some places. They are using robots to replace humans. This using robots to replace humans could negatively affect some jobs, but could also minimize exposure of workers in many frontline jobs. It has got pros and cons using robots. But from job market point of view, robots replacing humans affect definitely jobs. Jobs will become lesser and lesser. There is one more challenge for us graduates. Overseas migration and intra-country migration may slow down. All of us are aware. You don't have flights. You don't get visas. You don't get work permits if you want to work in either Middle East or US or Europe, or if you want to go and study in US, or if you want to go and study in Europe or Singapore. Overseas migration has definitely slowed down. Already there is much uncertainty over foreign work visas. Even student visa also, people are really thinking whether they should join foreign university, because COVID is not only in India, COVID is a pandemic, it is across the globe. Expect a substantial slowdown in students joining foreign university and then seeking jobs there. That is going to definitely slow down drastically and dramatically. Going to foreign university and spending a lot of fees for foreign university is not worth at this moment. It is likely to remain tough for at least couple of years. That is, presuming that the pandemic abates and economies limp back to normal by then. Definitely it is going to take another 2 years to gear up overseas migration. And going and studying abroad is going to end. Seeking jobs in the overseas market like Dubai or any other place is going to be a big challenge. This is another second challenge, one more challenge. Another, we have spoken enough about challenges. First one, we spoke about unemployment. Then the second challenge, we spoke about job first, choice later, means choices are less. Third one was technology may replace humans in some traditional places. These are some challenges we spoke. And we also spoke about overseas migration may become a challenge. Studying in foreign universities may become a bigger challenge for you people. Now we will go to the opportunities. All this time we spoke about challenges. Now we will go to the opportunities. Light at the end of the tunnel, what we call, or silver lining in the cloud, what we can tell. We are going to talk about that. The career opportunities may be digital skills. Now you have to improve your everywhere that people are going for digital skills to avoid contact, physical contact, but you can have virtual contact. So the word physical contact is diminishing. Virtual contact is increasing. So you have to improve your digital skills. There are a lot of career opportunities if you have digital skills. So now it is the time to invest in your digital skills. The job market is going to change after this major crisis. This is going to be a major crisis. COVID-19 pandemic situation is going to be a major crisis. And that's why job market also will change drastically, dramatically. This time the change is an increased. What is the focus of this change? using online technology and digital skills that enable workers to contribute remotely. That is going to be the norm later on using online technology and digital skills. You can sit anywhere across the globe and work. There is going to be change in workplace. Even teaching is going to become change. Teaching may go for online, most of the teaching may go for e-learning, digital learning. That's why online technology and digital skills are going to become the norm of the day. That's why improve your digital skills. Whatever your line of education be, you are unlikely to be considered unless you demonstrate comfort with digital tools in your field of work. Example, commerce graduate may go for learning Tally. You may learn SPSS if you want to go for data analytics. You may go for math labs. You may go for web design for computer engineers or computer graduates. If you're a business school graduates, you should learn digital marketing if you want to specialize in marketing, social marketing, media marketing. Here you need digital skills. I heard recently one of my student who has done his master's in management. Now he is going for contactless work because of he has developed expertise in social media and digital marketing. He is earning very good, handsome salary because of his digital skills. You can go for web design. You can go for digital marketing. You can go for data analytics. You can become a business analyst also. See, there are a lot of openings in the area of digital skills. Even if you are going for teaching also, today digital skills are very, very important. Next, career opportunity. Here I am talking about not only digital skills, next degree, very important. A great option is to acquire additional certification or degree. If you are a bachelor's degree, you may go for a master's degree, or you may go for some certification to improve your professionalism, to improve your value in the job market when the market actually opens. This is another very good option. Go back to additional certification or degrees, but you have to choose which type of certification courses are valued in the job market. Not only are you better equipped when you go for additional certification or degrees, but also the market circumstances will change. So pursue master's degree or PhD degree right now instead of waiting for a year for two. Instead of waiting, okay, the market will improve, job market will improve. Go for some master's degree, PhD degree, or additional certification courses, or some diploma programs which will fetch better jobs during this period. This is very good idea for you. And now the cost of certification also is very less. Additional, lot of universities are offering certification programs and diploma programs at a very lower cost because of they know that money is becoming scarce. People are not ready to spend because of recession, because of economic turndown. That's why you can think of improving your professionalism by going for additional certification, diploma program, master's or PhD. There are a lot of career opportunities in online learning. Online education, though less valuable, definitely it is compared to full-time courses, it may be lesser valuable, but is your final option to stay occupied. Learn more and acquire certification. know that educational technology has become popular in the crisis with lots of low cost or free options. See, you might have heard about Byju's. Now, Byju's acquired so many small companies, and it has become a global edu technology platform for online learning. It offers variety of courses. So you can think of such programs, go for online learning. Finally, in your next job intro, you will be able to differentiate yourself from your competitors. You can show so much of online learning or e-learning, we call it as. You can show that you have been occupied. Don't stay without improving your professional skills. Once you finish, think how I can improve, how I can become more relevant in today's job market. That's all. Online learning is a great career opportunities for you. New opportunities in data literacy, data sciences, data analytics, and data visualization. Statistics indicate that global data usage has increased as much as 38% year on year in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. See, this is the hope for all of you. Data usage has increased almost 38%. Already, job opportunities are there for data engineers, data analysts, data scientists. It is growing. The job market is growing in these areas. With surge in data usage, we can expect this demand to go up even more quickly. There will be more demand in this area. Data jobs more so since they can, with enhanced security protocols expected to be in place soon, will work well in work from home environment also. Now, you might have heard all these techies, most of them are having work from home concept. So for that, data literacy is important. Data sciences is going to make a big change. Data analytics and data visualization. There is a big opportunity area for reskilling and upskilling. You have to reskill, and you have to upskill in these areas, data management, what we call it as. Because the hope is the statistics, the facts and figures says the data usage has increased drastically and dramatically due to COVID-19 pandemic. Greater demand for cloud computing, artificial intelligence, machine learning, blockchain, and cyber security skills, even in gaming also, where a lot of opportunities are there. As with the data, all of these skills will have multiple takers. There is really no merit in elaborating on this job opportunities. Definitely, this is going to become a big opportunity for everyone. Digital services are going to grow exponentially. Even government is also promoting digital services in all the service areas. Jobs in these domains will be plenty and will pay well. Please, this is the hope. I want to again repeat. Jobs in these domains will be plentiful and will pay well. So there is a hope. There is an opportunity because of this COVID-19 situation. Because digital services are going to grow exponentially. Expect serious demand supply gap and many edge tech players rushing in to make a quick buck by providing quick fix learning solutions. So you will have a lot of learning solutions, because there is a great demand for cloud computing, artificial intelligence, machine learning, blockchain, cybersecurity skills, and even gaming. Jobs for those with higher emotional intelligence. See, now managing ourselves is becoming very, very important today. If you can manage yourself better, you can manage others. If you can change yourself better, you can adapt to the change. Today, everyone is talking about emotional intelligence. I think in the media, you might have already read about depression and suicide. These two things are happening due to poor emotional intelligence. So, there will be better jobs for those with higher emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence? Managing your emotions, managing your anger, managing your depression, managing your frustrations better. Then you will become more intelligent, emotional. So those people with better emotional intelligence will also get jobs, job market. So emotional intelligence is really about giving and receiving feedback, meeting tight deadlines, dealing with challenging relationships. Today, maintaining relationships is dealing and maintaining relationship is not very, very important. Dealing with change, dealing with setbacks and failures, all premium requirement in these difficult times. Jobs in customer care, logistics, tracking, counseling, consumer research, qualitative analysis will open up for those who can demonstrate higher than normal emotional intelligence. I think this emotional intelligence can be measured by emotional quotient. When you are applying for a job, they may not only check for your physical intelligence and mental intelligence. Definitely, people will check for your emotional intelligence. So, the people having better emotional intelligence than normal have more opportunities in the job market. I'm going to talk about it a little later also. There are career opportunities because new types of service at home jobs. A tribe of professionals, chef on call, will get created in the current environment where restaurants may be avoided. I think people are scared to visit restaurants today. And there will be demand for restaurant-like food. Similarly, top quality health certified home service providers. Health certified home service providers. Hairstylists, masseurs, manicurists, on-demand doctors, caregivers will find many takers. The two at a premium prices. So there is a new type of jobs created in service at home or home service. Multiple jobs to make ends meet. You may not go for only one job, you may have multiple jobs in this situation. The pandemic is shining a light on the deep inequalities that exist in our economy, which have left some people much more exposed to risk and much less prepared to weather the crisis than others. Many of you might be headed to take up more than one job to meet demands of livelihood because your payment is going to be lesser. So you may go for multiple jobs. Morning you may work in one type of a job and evening you may work in other type of job to meet the demands of livelihoods. Definitely there will be more employment in smaller towns. when multinationals in India declared work from home ahead of lockdown, global compliances, because of global compliances, 30 to 40% of their employees headed out to their hometowns or smaller towns. Anyway, work from home, while to stay in metros, which is more expensive to live, people move to their smaller places, hometowns, to work from home. In fact, many of these smaller towns were green and orange zones that time, much less impacted by the virus compared to metros in red zones. So suddenly, small towns have become focused for HR heads for purposes of business protection and continuity plans, as spreading manpower in remote working to more geographies helps de-risk business operations. So maybe more jobs will open up in smaller towns. So you may see more employment coming up. But this is a good news for tier 2 cities like Belgavi, Hubli, Dharwad. People will have more employment compared to metros. There will be more flexi-time jobs. There is likely emergence of serious underemployment across sectors. Restaurants not working at full capacity now. For example, they could employ small number of employees. If they were earlier employing 20 people, now they may go for only 5 people. But get them to work off the number of hours at off the salary. This is a serious possibility. Many of you might be headed to take up more than one job because of flexible working hours to meet demands of livelihood. Now I'm going to talk about, now I spoke about the opportunities in general. Now I will talk about opportunities in particular. 1 degree, 10 careers. You may have TV journalism, certification programs in TV journalism if you have a degree. You can go for social media certification programs, radio, web journalism, public relations, events management, virtual event management, advertising, films, photography. Your degree with this type of certification, which fetch you different careers. I've given you 10 careers opportunities with your degree. See, top jobs for economic majors. If you have got economics major, you may become a market research analyst, economic consultant, compensation and benefit manager, financial analyst, credit analyst, actuary. This is for insurance. These are the areas, top jobs for economic major graduates. Jobs for BCom graduates. You can go for accounting and auditing, tax advisory services, commercial banking, international banking. Now banks have become digital. Financial services. Other sectors include automobile, hospitality, telecommunication services, BPOs, manufacturing services, government services, insurance services. Job offers for psychology graduates. Here you can think of social service specialists, teachers, marketing manager, child care worker, counselors, probation and payroll officer. Sociology majors, guidance counselor, HR, lawyer, media planner, market research analyst, management consultant. Career in chemistry after graduation. If you do bachelor in science, you can go for master's in science. Bachelor of chemical engineering can go for jobs in engineering sector. You can go for forensic industry, ceramic industry, paper industry, pharma industry, thread industry, biotechnology, many more. Jobs you can do with biology graduates. You can go for become a nutritionist, research scientist, zoologist, teacher, biomedical scientist, microbiologist, pathologist, genetic counselor, physiotherapist, marine biologist, veterinary nurse, ecologist, environmentalist, general practitioners, forensic scientist, immunologist, biochemist, food technologist, many more. BCA holder, jobs in private sector, software company, web designing, create own software companies, jobs in government sector, banking, dairy, farming industry. Or if you want to pursue further study, MSc IT, PGDCA, MSc Computer Science, MCA, PGDCA, MSc in Information Science, and many more. BCA graduates, because of your technological skills, you can go for banks, consultancies, computer and related equipment, electronic equipment manufacturers, financial institutions, government agencies, schools and colleges, software development companies. For software development companies, you can work from home only. Security and surveillance companies, system maintenance, technical support, traffic light management, graphics, BPO, multimedia marketing. Career opportunities for computer science graduate, software developer trainee, trainee programmer, e-commerce executive, technical support, server monitoring, networking training, mainframe, website design, security and surveillance, game designing, testing and development, actuaries, system administrator computer, server administrator. The best jobs for business majors, BBA graduates, business teacher, accountant, business reporter, financial analyst, corporate attorney. For business school graduates, you can become a consultant, analyst, entrepreneur. You can start something on your own with a small team. Some employment in government, freelance. You can do a lot of freelance thanks to digital media. Entrepreneur, you can go for a lot of startups today. Today startups, see today after COVID-19, there are different opportunities for startups also. For example, sanitizer, now it has become norm, mask. Now people are also, most of the entrepreneurs are also going for making masks. This is a new business opportunity. Sanitizers, it is also a new business offer, manufacturing sanitizers. Some child care, counseling, all these things are getting up, new opportunities are created. And one more thing I want to tell you, because of this pandemic, people are scared to buy Chinese product also. They were avoiding Chinese product. So there are a lot of substitutions are happening for Chinese project. So this is an entrepreneurial opportunity for you. Lot of substitution you can do for Chinese project. So there are a lot of entrepreneurial opportunity available today for business school graduate if you want to start something on your own. 7 ways to ready yourself for a huge career push after COVID-19. Here I am going to talk about how you should push yourself, get ready yourself for a career push. See, listen to this. This is going to definitely help. First thing, do your SWOT analysis, personal SWOT analysis. I'm going to talk to you about SWOT analysis in the next presentation. After SWOT analysis, reflect, consult your mentor, or there are a lot of career consultants are there today. You can consult them because they are in the front of job market. They may give you good consultation, good guidance for job opportunities today. One thing is there is change. Don't avoid change. Embrace change. We have no choice. You have to upgrade yourself. You have to develop proper skills on a continuous basis. Upgrade your professional skills. Upgrade your knowledge. And very important is adapting to the change. How soon you adopt, how soon you change the page is very, very important. One more important thing I want to tell you is networking. You have to network. I know physical networking may not be possible. Virtual network is possible. Use your network, your teachers, your mentors, your friends, your seniors. Very important. This is the time you have to network with your seniors. College should help you to connect to your alumni. Very important, your seniors, because they are already in the job market. Connecting with the seniors and super seniors, or what I call it as alumnus, is very, very important today. They will tell you how is today's job market, how you are, and if there are any openings also, because you belong to the same institution, they will definitely help the alma mater. This is networking is how fast you can network is very, very important. How fast you can use your connections, connect with the people who are in the forefront of job market. So first thing, do your SWOT. After doing SWOT, reflect based on your SWOT. Consult. There are so many career guidance counselors are available today. They will give you at a very minimum cost, and you need not physically talk to them. Virtually they are available. You can connect with them. And definitely I told you there is going to be change, and you have to embrace that change. And you have to upgrade yourself. Continue. See, learning is a continuous process. And sky is the limit for continuously you have to learn. Today I also believe in learning and continue. Even every day I learn something. Because now, because of online teaching, I'm doing a lot of online teaching. I'm giving a lot of online. I'm also upgrading myself to this online teaching, learning experience. You have to change, upgrade, adopt to the change. And I will tell you, networking is very, very important. Today, virtually you have to network with the people, with the experts, and get yourself to know about the careers and job market in your domain. Here I am going to talk a little about SWOT, how to do your SWOT. What is this SWOT analysis? I just use the word SWOT. SWOT is acronym for strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. S stands for strength, W stands for weakness, O stands for opportunities, T stands for threats. First, you have to do your own SWOT analysis. It is called as personal SWOT analysis. So first, we will go to the first one. My strengths. What I am good at, what I am great at. Find out what is your potential. Are you good in communication? Are you good in technology? Or your inner strength. What is your competency? Are you good with numbers? What you are good at? Find your strength. Don't tell I don't have any strength. Today I will tell you, first thing you do is write at least 5 strengths. Rank them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Find out your strengths. So many people don't know about their strengths because they have not explored. They have not identified. I will tell you one example. Here, one story I will tell you. You might have seen a Kannada movie called as Chinnari Mutta. I don't know how many of you have seen. Here what happens, a poor boy from village, he runs because he was an orphan. He was brought up by his maternal uncle, fed up with his maternal uncle and his maternal auntie's treatment. He runs away from his village to town. Then he was caught by a thief. Then the thief takes that boy, very small boy, and the thief trains the boy how to steal shoes which are left in front of the temples and stadium. So the boy learns that game, how to steal the shoes and slippers. One day he comes to a stadium. He saw people are running on the track and there was a coach also. He sees there are very good shoes left at one place. Adidas, Nike, many more he sees. Slowly he picks up a pair of good shoes, thinking that nobody is looking at him because he was trained to do that, a small innocent boy. And he feels, today my boss, my teacher will be very happy if I give him those pair of shoes. By picking the shoes, he starts running faster. Then the coach looks at the boy, picking up those pair of shoes, and he starts chasing that boy. The boy runs very fast because he was told by his mentor, never get caught. Because if you are caught, you will be taken to police, and if you are taken to police, then our whole gang will be in trouble. Then the boy runs fast. The coach also chases him. And after 5 minutes, coach realizes this boy is running very fast. And he started appreciating the way the boy was running because it was difficult for the coach, who was a very good coach. Coach himself was a national level, once upon a time, national level sprint runner. Then coach realizes this boy has a potential. If I coach him to run, he may become a national level sprint runner. Then by hook or crook, after 10 minutes, the coach catches that boy with a pair of shoes. But the coach will not give that boy to police. He will take the boy to his residence and he will train the boy because he understands the potential, hidden potential of the boy. Because boy himself did not know he has the potential to run faster. Then he coaches him. One day the boy becomes national level sprint runner. So most of the time, most of the students, they don't know about their strengths. Please try to identify your strengths, what you are good at, because strengths are internal. I have written in slide, strengths are internal and strengths are helpful. Now coming to weakness. How can I improve? Find out what you are not good at. Some people are not good at communication. That may be your weakness. Find out that so that you can improve. You can improve. What do I need to work on that? How to improve my weakness? Weakness also is internal, but it is harmful to your career. That's why you have to improve. Opportunities. Opportunities stay in external environment, but opportunities are also helpful. Find out what opportunities you have for your career, because it is in the external environment and it is helpful. Next one is know about your threats. Threats are also external, but it is harmful. What is standing in my way of career? Find out. So today I will tell you after my session, first thing, do your SWOT analysis. Then you will understand yourself better, your strengths, your weakness, your opportunities, and your threats. Strength is internal and helpful. Weakness is also internal, but it is harmful. That's why you have to improve in that area. Opportunities are also in the external environment, but they are helpful. If you have better, I told you so many opportunities. Find out. Threats. Don't tell there are no threats. There is going to be threats. But know about what is standing in the way of your career and which is harmful. I think this slide is very important for all of you to address the change today. Because you might have done your SWOT analysis earlier, but in the changed circumstances, in the changed environment, your SWOT may change because opportunities are changing and threats are also changing. Your strength and weakness may be same, but find out the strengths you require for the today's job market. Find out your weakness, which is where you want to improve for today's job market. So your SWOT will change today. If you might have done earlier. In COVID-19 situation, your personal SWOT also will change. That's why do your SWOT analysis. I think this is going to be the heart of my presentation. This slide is going to become, because this is what you are going to do today. This is your takeaway today. Unless you know yourself, unless you know your SWOT, you will not be able to address the change. That's why do your SWOT today. That's why I have spent more time on this slide. This is also very important slide. If you want to become holistic, intelligent person, there are 4 important areas. First one is physical intelligence. Physical intelligence is about your body. If you are fit, fine, without any disease, then your physical intelligence is very high. You may be a very mentally intelligent, but your body is not coping up. What is the use? Take care. Students, please take care of your physical intelligence. For that, have a good diet, exercise, good habits, sleep, rest. Keep yourself. Exercise. Do either yoga. Just now we saw RPD college, there are so many yoga classes. Go for, now you cannot go for gym. You can do jogging, walking, whatever to keep yourself fit and fine. Physical intelligence is very important for you. You build your immunity. Today, everybody is telling COVID-19 situation, building your immunity is very important so that COVID will not come near to you. If you are physically intelligent, your immunity will be very, very high. So you cannot attract COVID. You can repel COVID. See, work on your physical intelligence. Next one is work on your mental intelligence if you want to become successful. You should have a clarity of thought. You should be learning fast. You should be in the learning curve. Learn continuous. Have clarity. Don't have distraction. And do one thing at a time. So you should be mentally sharp. Some people will tell, no, he's very sharp, he's very intelligent. That is mental intelligence. Physical intelligence also, before I finish, I'll go again back to physical intelligence. Your habits are important. Don't go for smoking, drinking, alcohol and all. Your immunity will come down, especially COVID-19 situation. Physically energized body is very, very important. Mental alertness is important. Mental alertness will enable you to learn faster new skills. The third intelligence is emotional intelligence. Already I spoke to you little about emotional intelligence. How we feel. Positive emotions. Don't think about negative things all the time. Think some positive things, you will get positive. If you think positive, you will get positive energy. If you think negative, you will get negative energy. A person with positive mindset will tell glass is half full. A person with negative mindset will tell the glass is half empty. So positive emotions will give you positive energy. So you will come out of your depressions, anger, frustrations, etc. So physically energized body. Emotions is about heart, engagement levels, being valued, your feelings, good feelings. Mental intelligence is about mind. Physical intelligence is about body. Mental intelligence about your mind, what we call brain. Emotional intelligence is about heart, how you are connected emotionally. So many people now are living alone. So many celebrities are committing suicide about loneliness, about your frustrations, anger, etc. So emotionally, you should be intelligent. The highest level of intelligence is called as spiritual intelligence, means knowing about your soul. You are spiritually aligned. It is not about religion. It is about soul. There is one, Kuvempu has told one slogan, O Nanna Chetana Aguni Aniketan. That is spirit, soul. So the highest level of intelligence. Mahatma Gandhi has got highest level of spiritual intelligence. Mother Teresa has got the highest level of intelligence. So work on this. First one, you can easily work on your physical intelligence, mental intelligence, emotional intelligence. Then you can come to your spiritual intelligence. So here I have put one student, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. Here you see physical, first level of intelligence. Second level, mental. Third, emotional, spiritual. See, in COVID-19, all these things are very important to become for your well-being, holistic well-being. Physical, so that you will be immune. Mental, so that you will learn faster. Emotional, so you will come out of anger, depression. Spiritual, it is you are spiritually aligned. These figures, there is a sense of purpose in life. You deep values. These are the things which come under spiritual. You have a purpose to live, purpose to value. So these are 4 levels of intelligence. Please work on this. Very important during this time. Next, future outlook. I'm going to the future outlook. We will have a rhythmic workplace in future. That is going to be our future. Rhythmic means the capacity to flex space, flexible workspace. All these traditional workplaces will go. The model is a composition of 4 spaces. Team space, known as office space. Me space, that is home. Home may be your workplace. You have to set up an office in your home, at your desk. Open space, anywhere. Cafes, co-works, commutes, lobbies. Virtual space. See, we are all now in virtual space. the holistic connect. We are all connected, may not be physically, virtually. If jobs are going to transform, so will the workspaces. Please try to understand. Jobs are going to change. Workplaces are going to change. We will have rhythmic workplace as per the need in the future. Now we are all working in, today we are working in virtual space. This is a very important. I am going to end my lecture almost. I am coming to the end of my class, end of my talk. See, look at these slides, very important. They all are telling the same thing. According to Charles Darwin, it is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is the most adaptable to change will survive. So there is a curve, like learn, unlearn, relearn. By instructing students how to learn, unlearn, and relearn, a powerful new dimensions can be added to education. I think that's very important. So we have to tell students how to learn, how to unlearn, and how to relearn. I think now the time has come. Unlearn and relearn. We have learned something. We need to unlearn as there is a change, and we need to relearn. A powerful new dimension should be added to education. Be open to learn. Don't think about your age, your marks, your degree. Always be open to learn, unlearn, and relearn. The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn, according to Tokyo. Learn, unlearn, and relearn. Change is the only constant. Be flexible and humble to keep changing and moving along. See, I have shown one figure also here. You have to turn the page faster. Don't stay on the same page for a long time. Change is going to be there. Change is growth. If you don't change, you will not grow. That's why learn, unlearn, and relearn. This slide is also very important for you. Then I am all ready for questions and answers. Please. Thank you. Yes.
Ma'am, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
We seem to have some issue. We had to restart the session. Can you share your screen again and we can continue from where you had left off?
Yes. I have shared.
Yes, ma'am, we can see. Thanks. You can continue. Please click on the,
Which one, sir?
yes, perfect, perfect. Thank you.
Yes. If any questions, please.
So, ma'am, just a moment. Have I to take that you have completed the session?
I have completed the session, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Just a moment.
Thank you, madam, for sharing your vast knowledge regarding career opportunities for the students. Now we will move on to the question answer session. I hand over the charge to the technical session for questions.
Yes.
Collected questions from all the students and all the participants watching from YouTube and on Zoom, and we have narrowed a few down.
Yes. Yes, sir. Hello. Hello, I can't hear you. Hello? Hello?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Can you ask some questions if you have?
Yes, ma'am. Just a moment. We had just an issue with the sound system here. Okay. Now another question from students is, ma'am, you spoke about three kinds of challenges the freshers may face. It would be more
Yes.
helpful if you give an idea to overcome these challenges, or to learn how to face these challenges in an effective way.
Okay, I will go back to my slide on challenges. There I will talk to you. Okay, I'll just give me a little time. See, we are going to tell the first challenge I spoke about unemployment. Here I spoke about unemployment due to market condition. There is going to be unemployment and underemployment. But due to COVID-19, I also told that there are different type of employment. Maybe unemployment in traditional sector, but there is a employment opportunities in new areas. That is what I spoke. And since there is unemployment, which is a fact, instead of thinking if you don't get job, sometimes what you can do, you can go for either higher education, or you can go for sharpening your skills, or go for some certification program, go for some e-learning, go for online learning. So this period, which is going to be there for some at least another 6 to 8 months, you can, if you get an employment as early as possible with some companies, it's okay. If you don't get, think of some other areas like higher education or certification program or upskilling or some unpaid internship. These are the things I told them, how to face those challenges. Then I also speak about second one is job first, choice later. Here, don't become a choose. Don't sit. You have got some job, but you say this is not in my domain. I don't want this job. You can't choose today. The choices are limited. So if you get some job, just join and get some experience. Then you can shift to the, when the things improve, you can shift your domain once the market improves. And I told you robot may replace humans. I know the robots, but at the end of the day, some human touch is also important. There is a technology, but there is a hope that in some services, we need human touch. And we need people to take care of these robots, because these robots are developed by human beings. You may have job opportunities in robot technology also. That is there for engineering graduates, drone, robot. Yes, who are the people who are developing these robots and drones, etc.? This is the humans. The robot may replace in services, but at the back, there are people who are working on robot technology and drone technology. And challenges for overseas migration and intra-country. Another 1 or 2 years it may stop, but there is a hope that lot of courses are offered by foreign university online. MIT is offering Massachusetts Institute of Technology in United States of America. Physically, you may not go to the foreign university, But virtually there is lot of opportunities in foreign universities, and get your certification, get your diplomas, get your courses done, new courses in new domains thereof. Lot of universities, foreign universities, especially Harvard, MIT, Stanford, they are giving lot of courses. Even jobs also, they may, for the experienced people, they may also have jobs, but they are all virtually. But education is possible thanks to technology, thanks to online learning, thanks to e-learning. So these are the things I told you. And I also told you what are the opportunities in digital skills, next degree I spoke, online learning I spoke, data literacy I spoke, cloud computing, artificial intelligence. I spoke about how to improve your emotional intelligence and new types of jobs and multiple jobs also I spoke. You can't tell I will do only one job. You can have, because flexible working hours will give opportunity for multiple jobs. And I also told there is a opportunity in smaller towns, especially tier 2 cities will open up, because people are scared to live in metros. We saw so many people shifted from Bangalore to their hometowns. So there will be more employment opportunities in smaller towns, in agriculture, in food, in vegetable growing, and all these things. Agriculture is going to improve dramatically, drastically. It will become an industry. That is also one thing. Agriculture and floriculture will become an industry. Even vegetables and fruits today, it is going to become an industry itself. And organic food, groceries, organic food is going to become the norm of the day, because of people want to improve their immune system. These are the opportunities available today because of COVID-19. I think, I hope I answered your questions.
Another question. Post-pandemic, is freelancing a better career option for freshers?
Definitely, this time freelancing is better, because nowadays I see a lot of counselors are giving freelancing. Virtually they are doing. You need not to go to physical contact. You can, lot of counseling is happening, freelancing in education, career guidance, counseling, telemedicine. All these things are happening virtually. So a lot of opportunities are, freelancing is available virtually. If you have developed some expertise in some areas, web designing is also you can give. Security, and security for all these digital and technology and all. Digital technology, digital marketing is a freelancing. Digital marketing is a very popular freelance. Data analytics, freelancing. Lot of opportunities are coming, because people want to avoid physical contact. Virtual job opportunities are coming today. That is what. See, I am also doing a lot of career counseling for students. I'm doing freelancing. I'm doing online today, because after my coming to, now I live in Bangalore. I was in Belgaum. Afterwards, I came to Bangalore. I'm doing a lot of freelancing online. Even Atal Incubation Center, I don't visit. I do mentoring online to the startups. Lot of startups I do mentoring. I do give a lot of webinars. I do online teaching. I'm involved with Pearson in online teaching also, and we are developing multimedia cases. See, cases we teach in the college. And earlier we used to have traditional case study teaching. Now we have multimedia case study. So a lot of job opportunities are there for freelancing too. But you should embrace technology. You should have digital skills. We need a lot of people to help in these areas. And this is the answer I gave you. A lot of counselors, at least nowadays, because of psychology problems, so counselors, psychologists, they are getting a lot of job opportunity on freelance. And this is the answer. This is my answer.
Yes. What are the major challenges a startup company can face during and after COVID?
Yes. During COVID, what happens? You can't meet people physically, but thanks to technology. See, during COVID, a lot of these startups are facing challenges who have started traditional type of startups, but digital and some pharma and medicine and homegrown. I saw one startup in Bangalore where I am entering. That's why I'm talking to you. They do organic vegetables and they supply organic vegetable and fruits. They only supply. It is a startup. They say their business has improved during COVID-19 compared to before, because people don't want to go and buy from the market, and these people are supplying to many people. And lot of startups, this type of, see, the idea is very important. All startups may not flourish well. The traditional startups will have a lot of challenges because of physical contact, getting people, hiring and all. But those startups which are contactless, they are doing a lot of work. See, today I am in Bangalore. We buy organic groceries, fruits and vegetables. It is supplied to my door. I buy online. It is a startup and they are growing and they feel their business. Once I am addicted to organic fruits, vegetables and groceries, I will buy after COVID also. Even COVID-19. See, your idea is very important. What type of, and whether that idea is relevant today is also very important. So if your idea is not, you have to shift fast. You can't stick to that idea. Maybe your idea which you had may become outdated. That startup which should turn the page very fast and embrace the change, adopt. Very important. You can't say that, oh, my idea was good that time. Now it is not working. If it is not working now, embrace new idea. That is how entrepreneurs grow. They won't stick to one idea. That's why we call it as serial entrepreneur. That is the norm for today. Your idea was relevant yesterday. Your idea man. But now one thing good is lot of technology is available. But there may be some slowdown for some startups. But after another 5-6 months, things are going to definitely change. So you have to work on your business plan. You should have some contingency on your business plan and see what best you can do in this situation. So what is your idea is very important. Whether your idea is relevant in this situation is very important. Or you can refine your ideas also in this. These are the things the startups have challenges. Startups always have challenges. Let me tell you, startups always. I have worked with many startups because I am working with Atal Incubation Center for last 2 years. Startups always have challenges, whether it is COVID or no COVID. Now the challenges may be a little different. But if your idea is not relevant today, fine tune it. If plan A is not working, you should have plan B. That is the norm for, that is what we tell to startup. Startup always have contingency. That is the answer I can give.
Thanks, ma'am. Another question is, how stable are new types of jobs when compared to the traditional jobs? For instance,
very good question.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Now there is no stable jobs, friends. There is no stable jobs now. Traditional jobs were stable. People joined a company, they retired in the company. But no, you have to keep on upskilling, embrace the change, and people change jobs also as the opportunity changes. Jobs are not stable. You can only think for 2 to 3 years, any job, maximum 5 years. You have to change, except few jobs like even I don't think teaching also will change now. Definitely, I will tell you. You see, next year teaching jobs will also change. The type of teaching we did. I joined IMER in '94 and almost I worked for 25 years. That will not be the norm for tomorrow. You keep on changing as the situation, and change will be very fast now. After 2020, you look at the changes are fast. Things will be very dynamic, and you have to, the only thing is learn, unlearn, relearn. That is what I told you. and your learning should be continuous process, and sky should be the limit for excellence. That is what I will tell you. And I will also tell you one very good quote: good, better, best. Let it never rest till our good is better and our better is best. Always go on moving. You can't stand. So jobs will change. There will not be permanent employment from now. You have to go on turning the page as fast as possible. Yes, I think I answered your question.
Yes, ma'am. Another question is, given that there are so many opportunities in this crisis, why are students going into depression without even discussing with others? And what should they do to protect against these kind of situations?
I think the best, this is a very good question. Students are going to, I think college should play an important role for their students. College should have a counselor or a psychologist who will be direct in contact with students on a continuous basis. For example, let us take a college A. It has got some 500 students. Let us take. They should have a counselor, 1 or 2 counselors, because I also feel it is the responsibility of the college, parents, and the entire community. And the counselor should see, now physical contact is not there. So, but they should be in contact. They should be arranging some webinars, seminars, talks, and there should be some counseling session how to do. That's why I spoke today. Very important thing is emotional intelligence. Now we should work on emotional intelligence of our students. Now we don't have much teaching. All of you agree. So instead of that, now college should mainly focus on improving the emotional intelligence of students by hiring counselors, and these counselors should be in direct contact with students on a regular basis to reduce this anger, frustration, depression, etc. I think from now onwards in the colleges, we only teach about mental intelligence. We should also teach to our students. There should be a curriculum on how to develop a holistic student, how to develop a student with physical intelligence, mental intelligence, emotional intelligence, and spiritual intelligence. All these days we were only taking on syllabus, exam. I think the new education policy I have seen, it has got this component also, new education policy. But right now the colleges can have a counselors to handle the student on regular basis, and students should be told to be in touch with counselor, and counselor should be told to be in touch with parents also and students also, because most of the students now are with their parents now, especially these graduate students. That networking should be developed, and student engagement is very important now. For that, the entire stakeholders should work: college, management, parents, students. That integrated approach is needed during this time. That is my answer. And that's why I spoke on those physical intelligence, mental intelligence. If you are emotionally very strong, if your emotional intelligence is very strong, you will never go for, you know how to manage your emotions, how to manage anger, how to manage your depression. That's why suicide, I will not tell suicides will not be there, but we can reduce the suicidal tendency and suicidal rates. There should be helpline or counselors. College should have psychologists. They should be to help the students. That is my answer.
Thank you, ma'am. A final question. Unfortunately, we'd like to take everyone's questions, but we don't have time for everyone's questions. So this is the final question, and it's 2 questions in one.
Yeah.
How much good does the stock markets, mutual funds, and tradings do to help in the economy in the future? And how much time, in your estimation, would the market take to return to the normal level, that is pre-COVID?
Yes, very good question. I also have invested in mutual funds. I'm also watch how the stock market will improve. According to my estimation, because I have been in this field for almost so many years, and I have become I am an investor also, fortunately, so that I can answer your question. If you have a regular income, Then investing in systematic investment plan, SIP, I will tell you, every month is a good opportunity. If you have a regular income, if you don't have a regular or your own income, don't try for mutual funds or stock market. It is going to be very risky. Stock markets are more risky than mutual funds. In mutual funds also, you should go for SIP, systematic investment plan. Only you can go for that if you have regular income. If you have less income or if you don't have regular income, don't go for that. If you have invested, for example, in SIP, I will tell you 10,000 per month. During this period, you can go for reduce. You just go and see what are the funds you have invested, how these funds are doing. Those funds which they are not doing well, at least for 6 months, it is better to close. And those funds which are slightly, at least if they are not negative, you may continue. I feel at least you have to wait for a year for the market to stabilize. After 2 years, you will get a better return on your investment. But suddenly taking the money back also is little dangerous because you are going to lose money, whatever you have invested so far. Better wait and watch. Definitely markets will improve. We have seen now Sensex is also improving compared to March, April. Now Sensex is slowly improving, but GDP is very bad. There is a recession which we have to agree. Recession is there, that we all have to agree. We can't say there is no recession. There is a recession, but wait at least for a month for the market to improve. Market to stabilize, not improve. 1 year you need market to stabilize. 2 years to get better ROI, return on your investment. You can in mutual funds, you can expect 8 to 10% after a year or so. But some mutual funds are doing okay. Compare. See, it is all mutual funds are not doing well. You should know which way, and you should always keep the track of the market. You should be very active, and you should know how the market is doing. You should know how to read the market. Then only it is easy. If you're just putting your money in the market and say, okay, no, you should keep track how the things, because I always keep track how the market Sensex is doing, how the my portfolio is doing. That is but definitely market will improve. But you have to wait for at least minimum 1 year. Minimum you have to wait for 1. And SIP is better if you have a regular income. That's what I feel. But don't keep all the eggs in one basket. That is a caution I want to use at the end of the day. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I hope I answered.
I hope all the questions have been answered satisfactorily.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I want to
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing.
Poonam madam, she has taken an initiative. She contacted me and she organized. I thank you very much, Poonam madam.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your vast knowledge regarding career opportunities for the students. I hope all the questions have been answered satisfactorily. Coming to the end of the session, I, Mrs. Poonam Kadapure, take opportunity to propose the vote of thanks and acknowledge the contribution of those who really work hard to make this webinar happen. I, Mrs. Poonam Kadapure, on behalf of RPD College of Arts and Commerce, Department of BBA, extend hearty vote of thanks to our today's speaker, Dr. Mrs. Purnima Charantimat, who spared time from her busiest schedule to grace this occasion. Today, we had an opportunity to hear different career options during and after COVID, and this will surely be encouraging our students in future events. Thank you, madam. I immensely thankful to our respected principal, Dr. Mrs. Achala Desai, for being the catalyst that stimulated us to do our best and standing as pillars of strength. Thank you, madam. With a deep sense of appreciation, I thank Dr. Abhay Patil, Coordinator IQAC, and Sri S.S. Shiman Gaudar, Director BBA for their support. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank our technical arrangement team who worked behind the scene to make this event happen. Thank you. Finally, I would like to thank our today's students participants who actively participated in today's session. Once again, thank you. Thank you one and all. Stay safe and have a good day.